So far, LLAP as the top runner this morning, along with ALVR. ALVR running up from $7 up to a high of $8.50, gapping up pre-market as you see. And then LLAP running up this morning from 5. Now it's currently halted up there at 760s. With this lesson, I want to go over and preach the importance of having a variety of stocks on your watch list in the morning. I had a handful of stocks on my watch list this morning. We had MDVL on our watch list this morning, and it still is on my watch list. It was in play recently. It's pulled back. You're getting some action today, setting up for a potential squeeze up over that $3. I also had SBFM this morning on my watch list. This stock got driven down from 5 all the way down to 3. Then you got a nice perk up here yesterday at the end of the day. It pulled back and it held most of its gains, and it was starting to build and starting to retest previous day's highs. So you'd keep it on watch to build and potentially continue to push up. I also had GNS on my watch list this morning. This was a new name IPO. Just opened literally like 5 days ago. You see how wild the price action was on this. And then it had a huge downfall, and it's just been sitting down here at $6. So to have a variety of stocks that you're keeping on watch in the morning and continuously checking up on all of your stocks, which one is setting up the best, rotating through your stocks. That's why I recommend having multiple monitors and having all of your stocks that you want to keep on watch pre-market, post them up like this. That way you're easily able to keep your eyes on them. You could scroll out on the charts and then focus on the stocks that are performing. Always focus on the stocks that are performing. Don't focus on duds or stocks that have failed and shown you that they have failed time and time again. You want to keep your eyes fresh, always looking around, because you can get tunnel vision, and it can happen easily. You can get tunnel vision. Clearly, the number one stock this morning was ALVR. This morning pre-market, ALVR was the number one stock gapping up this morning. It's at total volume on the day, ALVR. It's at 50 million in volume on the day, and the market has only been open for 45 minutes. That's a lot of volume pumping into this one stock here. But I like the saying, the more people you have, the more problems you're going to have. So a stock can easily get overcrowded. So a stock like this, ALVR, it's the number one big stock gapping up pre-market. I like to use the term hot chick of the day. You may have heard those guys at My Investment Club or MIC use this reference too. I took it from them. The hot chick of the day. This is the stock that everybody is looking to trade, and they all have eyes on it. Now, in my situation, I don't really want to focus on the stock that everybody has their eyes on, because you just have too many opinions going on, too many theories, too many opinions, trading strategies. All it's going to lead into is a headache and a tug of war. So you got 50 million in volume on ALVR. And all it's really done this morning, the first 45 minutes, was rip up $1.50. And look at it, what it's taken to rip up $1.50. You got a lot of big red death candles on it, a lot of long wick on this. It's a tug of war. Now flip back over to LLAP. This stock has ran from $5 up to $8 a share. That's a $3 move to the upside, nonstop. And LLAP has only done, right now it's at 8.5 million in volume. So look at the volume difference right there between these two stocks. You got ALVR that's at 60 million in volume on the day, and you got LLAP that's only at 8 million in volume on the day. And look at the price difference and how it likes to move between the two. Like I said, more people you have, the more problems you're going to have. This is a lot much of a cleaner and even a setup. Stock just kept pushing up getting tight pullbacks, pushing up, tight pullbacks, pushing up. And it's breaking up and through clean levels as well. For example, $5 up to $5.50, from $5.50 up to $6, runs up to $6, pulls back to $5.50. Nice, easy levels to base your technical analysis off of. Rips up through $6, runs up to $6.50, pulls back to $6, off of $6 up to $6.50, explodes up to $7.20s, halted up there at $8 a share. Now it's pulling back down near that $6.50. Easy, basic technical analysis. Now we go back to ALVR. For instance, look at the way that this stock and the price action that this is liking to move. Here at $7 a share, right there, we'll draw our green line. The stock's in and out of that. Wicks up here to 720s, rips down here to 673. There's a lot of fluctuation going on here in and out of that $7, right? There's a 50-cent range going on with this type of stock in the morning. Finally gets this rip to the upside and into a halt up at almost $8 a share. And when they reopen it, look at this wild price action going on here with that candle right there. From $7.50 to $8.25, that's just about a $1 range on a 1 minute candle. A huge tug of war going on. The bears and the bulls, they don't know which way they want to take the stock. Stock gets another candle right here. Look at the long wick on it, the big red body, bottoms out here at 725, grinds back up to its highs, pulls back 750 right there. Then you get a big red green candle here from 750 up to 850, and then sitting, lingering at its high. Now it's pulling back down. All this consistent volume flowing into it non-stop. On average, the stock has been getting around 1 million in volume per 1 minute since the market opened. So they're going to overwhelm this stock, exhaust it. All these different factors I'm throwing at you. It can be a lot to take in, especially when this is all going on real time. And this is the importance of this whole video, stock selection. Do you want to be focusing on the stock that everybody is focusing on? A tug of war, a headache? Or do you want to have a handful of stocks that you're keeping your eyes on? LLAP, look at how volume gradually came into this over time as it kept pushing up. And every single time this stock made a new high, more and more volume kept pushing into this stock. You want to be the 10% that think differently and outside of the box. The 10%. That's the smart money, you guys. So I know this lesson was a bit everywhere thrown at you, but I wanted to make something real clear across the board. The importance of having stock selection and knowing what stocks to focus on and why it's good to have multiple stocks on your watch list in the morning. And you don't need to have 20 stocks on your watch list every morning. That's a bit overwhelming, especially if you're new. Start with just a couple, maybe 2 or 3 stocks. And then as the day progresses, rotate through your watch list, sort them. What's the best performing setup or the best potential setup? What's the least potential setup? And so on. And by practicing this every day, day in, day out, the same routine, you're going to get better. You're going to get faster. You're going to see setups work. You're going to see setups fail. You're going to see these different types of personalities these stocks like to have. And then you're going to start developing your own thesis and opinions for these stocks. You're going to start to realize and see what works, what doesn't work. All right, as an extra little bonus, I'll do a part 2 to this. And I do not mean at all throw all of this at you and overwhelm you with all of the information that I'm giving you. Most importantly, what I'm trying to do is open your eyes to everything that goes on out here in the markets. We're all out here trying to make money, and you're going up against other retail investors, traders, swing traders, short sellers, longs, institutions, banks, algos, computers, all of that stuff. There's multiple different factors every single day. Like for instance, right now, everybody's talking about Netflix. Netflix is having a huge gap down this morning. It was up here at $350 a share, and literally overnight, this stock gaps down $100 to $250, and everybody's panicking. Look at the volume difference from yesterday to today. So clearly there's a lot of buzz going on with Netflix. And then you also have the indexes like the SPY, the NASDAQ. You always want to know where your indexes are at. Your indexes are the leaders. Wherever the saying goes, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. If you don't really get what that means, the indexes or the SPY, I like to follow the S&P 500. There's some people out there that like to follow all of the indexes. Some people like to follow the NASDAQ. There's multiple different ETFs and indexes that track the NASDAQ. One of the popular ETFs that tracks the NASDAQ is the QQQ. For me, in this video, I like to track the S&P 500, the ETF SPY. To me, I consider the SPY mother. Whatever mother does, her children are sure to follow. So knowing where your indexes are at, what's the big picture here? Is it in an overall bullish uptrend? If so, 3 out of 4 stocks are going to be in that bullish uptrend as well. There's going to be positive momentum. Now, if we're in a down channel or a downtrend with the indexes and the SPY, and there's negative energy out there, selling going on, like recently here with the SPY, we're looking at a 10-minute time frame here from the beginning of April, or at the end of March, I'd say, right here. End of March, I'll draw a straight line up. We topped out up here at 460s, and since then, we were in a long down channel for the longest time. Over a month, or almost a month, we were in this down channel. And we recently broke up out of that down channel, and we're getting positive momentum to the upside. So knowing where you're at in your indexes, you could be trying to buy a breakout on a stock. And in the indexes, you could be at the top of a trend channel resistance. So knowing where all of this stuff's at, everything has their own little part in these gears. There's multiple gears that work in the market. So you're trying to buy a breakout, high of day breakout, weekly breakout on a stock. The SPY, S&P 500, is at the top part of its channel and at resistance. That's something you could easily overlook or not even know to look out for. So always refer to your indexes, know where they're at. There's positive momentum in the markets because we're breaking up out of that down channel, and the overall sentiment is bullish for the indexes. So that should follow over through to a lot of your stocks. Now brings us to our next topic. Is your stock correlated with the market? A lot of your small cap stocks, I consider them the Wild West. You're not really going to see them correlated with the market much. There are times stocks are correlated with the market. They are. When the market moves up, the stock should move up and follow. And how to really tell if your stock is correlated with the market, either one, you could look at the beta. If you don't know what the beta is, BETA, go to Investopedia, look up beta. Learn about it. It's a handy tool to have. Or you could just look at the chart, pull up the SPY, and compare the SPY with your stock. Do the charts look similar? If so, they're correlated. If they don't look the same, then they're not correlated. A great website you should always have up all the time, besides FinViz and Yahoo Finance, CNBC. CNBC is always going to give you the top and latest thing of what's going on inside the market. And as you see here, right on the front page of CNBC, what are they talking about? Netflix. Netflix stock plunges 37% on shocking subscriber loss. So everybody right now has their attention and eyes on Netflix. That's where their attention is. So you're going to have a lot of volume drawn over to Netflix, and people are going to be focused on their longer term portfolios. With Netflix having that huge gap down, there's going to be a lot of panic. And then also, what time of year is it? Are we in earnings season? 4 times a year, companies come out and they put out earnings. So if you're in the middle of earnings season, small cap stocks are not really going to be in play. All of your large cap stocks are going to be in play. When it comes to earnings season, all the big money out there, they're going to be focused more on their big portfolios. So they're going to want to pay attention to how these companies are putting out their financial reports to keep tabs on their 401k, their long-term portfolio. So as you're watching and listening to this video here, you're slowly starting to see and understand there's many different moving parts that goes into being a trader and investor in the market, and a lot of it's got to do with being open-minded, seeing where the mass crowd is, where majority of people are focusing and paying attention. And what you really want to try to do is stay one step ahead of everybody. And now it may seem complicated, but it is achievable. How many times have we seen perfect A+ setups and patterns, or potential setups for stock, put together a plan and it play out to the T as we planned it? That's staying one step ahead of everybody else. Recently, we had big runners in stocks like VERU right here. This stock had a really good run up. Look at here on the 10-minute. From $4.50, this stock ran all the way up to 15 bucks, pulled down to $9.50, and then ran right back up to new highs up at $17.50. Now it's pulling back down again, back down to 11. Over the course of time, every new day in the stock market, there's going to be new stocks that pop, run, and go. Stocks like LLAP, for example. This is a new stock up and running today. ALVR. This is a new stock up and running today. Every day there's going to be new stocks that come and go. And then over time, people are going to forget about this stock. It's going to be hot today, but tomorrow something else is going to pop up and run. And this is going to slowly start to fade off as people slowly move on to the newest and biggest. You got to think of people in the stock market. It's just like Apple. When Apple comes out with new products every year, right? People get excited. If you ever seen the lines at the Apple store when they come out with new products, it's a super long line, isn't it? There's all kinds of people excited and eager to get their hands on the new Apple iPhone. They can't wait and they're willing to pay top dollar. It's called getting involved with the hype. So as people gravitate to the biggest and newest thing, ALVR for example, people are slowly going to forget about the top runners, VERU, ATER. They're slowly going to forget about these top runners. And a lot of times, this is where you're going to make some of your easiest money, because people are going to forget about these stocks, move on to the newest and greatest thing, and you're going to see an A+ setup on these stocks people forget about. That's where the 10%, this is where they're making their money, you guys. See a potential setup, let it pull back. Let it set up in your stages. There's good bounce opportunities, reversals. There's multiple different ways you can look at the stock market, you guys. That's the number one thing I want to get across in this video lesson. And this is going to be a long lesson, I know. But there's just so much to talk about and go over. With all of this information, now you can see you can easily overlook something and then it's gone. That opportunity is gone. But don't be ashamed of yourself because you've missed out on an opportunity. Remember, the stock market, it's unlimited opportunity. Every single day, the stock market gives us opportunity. All you have to do is patiently wait for these opportunities. Educate yourself on what to look out for. Surround yourself with like-minded people, good positive energy. Study your butt off. It's like I tell you guys, the more you educate yourself, the more edge you have over everybody else. There's a lot of stupid money out here just throwing money into the stock market, you guys. There is. And for you longtime members here, you guys can agree with what I'm about to say. We see a lot of people come and go in this game. A lot of people. People want to make money fast. They want to make money now. INDO, for example, as we were just talking about it. Energy stocks were hot recently. Look at this explosion from $15. It exploded all the way up to almost $30 a share. So it doubled in value in one day right there. And since this day, day 2, day 3, day 4, look what it's doing. Popped up here, it pulled back. It held most of its gains, right? From 15 running up to $28. This is a little pullback to $22. And off of that $22 level, look at all of those different opportunities you could have gotten in on this stock and rode it up to $30, $25, $26. There's a lot of money to be made out here, guys, and there's a lot of opportunity out here. It's just all about educating yourself and knowing what to focus and pay attention to. And I know it's a lot of information I just threw at you. It can be overwhelming, but just take your time with it. Rome wasn't built in one day, right? Over time, learn something new every day. Get into that routine of developing good, healthy habits, showing up every day, studying every day. You're putting together a watch list. You're seeing how these stocks play out every day. You're doing that work. That's the most important thing. And then over time, by showing up every day, you're going to get used to seeing setups, seeing successful setups, seeing failed setups. All good things come with time, you guys.